The Prince of the Niche. You are a child in the house of Anaxandritus, c. 540 BC. The air in your father's stone-walled halls is thick with the scent of olive oil and the metallic tang of bronze being polished by slaves. You are the third son, an Agiad prince of the 17th generation, a descendant of the legendary Heracles. You do not yet understand that you were never meant to rule. You are a spare, born into the shadow of your ambitious half-brother Cleomenes. You touch the rough stone of the Herodotus Valley and feel the technical weight of your lineage, a family tree that counts gods among its roots and competition in its marrow. You learn early that in the diarchy of Sparta, power is a divided thing, shared between two houses that constantly watch each other for weakness. Your consciousness begins in a world where your worth is measured not by your blood alone, but by your potential for the Agoge, the herding. You are a 7-year-old stripped for the Agoge. The sensory shock is the sudden absence of your mother's voice, replaced by the sharp, rhythmic crack of a whip held by the paidonomos, your boy herder. You are no longer a prince. You are a technical unit of the state. You learn the cold marble of the gymnasium floor and the biting winter air as you are stripped of your shoes and given only a single thin cloak for the entire year. You are taught to leap, jump, and run barefoot because it is technically more efficient. The internal cost begins here, the systematic dismantling of your individuality. You learn to forage and steal food to survive, receiving a technical beating not for the theft, but for the failure of being caught. You are becoming a tool of the state, realizing that the silence that follows you is the quiet of a boy who has learned that hunger is his primary instructor. The Dark Mentor. You are 12 years old, an Erin. The sensory memory of this time is the smell of campfire smoke and the weight of a wooden training spear. You are now placed in a band of peers, serving a prefect and being mentored by an Erastes, an admirer who is technically responsible for your moral and martial development. Unlike other Greek cities, Sparta demands a technical purity in this bond. Desire for the body is the height of shame, for your body belongs to the phalanx. You are beginning to build the load-bearing psychological walls of a warrior. Your technical reality includes the Crypteia, the final test of the Agoge, where you must slip into the night, undetected, to kill a helot barehanded. You learn that Spartan freedom is built on the technical foundation of slave labor, and your first kill is the narrowing of an exit. You are now a participant in the machinery of oppression. The Mess Group. You are a young man of 20. The weight of the bronze hoplon shield is now a permanent fixture on your left arm, its diameter between 3 to 5 feet, enough to protect you from neck to thigh. You enter your Syssitia, the mess group of 15 men who will be your family, your shield brothers, and your technical accountability for the next 40 years. Power tastes like the black broth of the Spartan mess, and the salt of your own sweat during endless military drills. You marry Gorgo, the politically astute daughter of your half-brother Cleomenes. You are a full citizen, homoios, a cog in the most formidable land force in Greece, yet you are still just a tool of the elders and the laws of Lycurgus. You realize that to be a Spartan is to be part of a machine, and the machine has no room for kings who do not first prove they are the best of the soldiers. The Stolen Throne. You are 49 years old, the King of Sparta, c. 489 BC. The pivot of power occurs in the wake of a technical disaster. Your half-brother Cleomenes is declared insane and imprisoned. You are the one who supposedly carries out the order to chain him. When he dies a horrific death, slicing himself into pieces, you realize that leadership is actually a transfer of liability. You do not just inherit the throne. You seize the accountability for a state facing an encroaching Persian storm. You realize you are no longer a tool of the law. You are the law's primary enforcer, the most consistently accountable person in the chain. You marry Gorgo to consolidate your claim, and as you sit upon the royal throne, the silence that follows you is the realization that you are now the target of the same intrigues that killed your brother. The Waxen Warning. You are 59 years old, a king facing an empire. The sensory detail is the smell of burning wax. Gorgo suggests melting the surface of a blank tablet sent from the exiled Herodotus, revealing the hidden technical plans of Xerxes' invasion. You watch the horizon and realize that diplomacy is failing. The Persians demand earth and water, symbols of total submission. You throw their messengers into a well, a technical violation of Xenia that signifies a war of annihilation has begun. The exits are narrowing. You must lead a coalition of disunited city-states against a force of hundreds of thousands. You are no longer just a king of a city. You are the unity of command for all of Greece, and you realize that your primary role is to be the person who makes the unthinkable logic of a sacrifice a physical reality. The Oracle's Ledger. You are preparing to march for the Carnea. The technical context is a prophecy from Delphi. Either your city must be laid waste, or a Spartan king be killed. You realize that your life is now a line in a ledger, a debt to be paid for the survival of the state. You choose 300 Spartiates, each a technical specialist in death, with one crucial additional criterion: they must have a living son to carry on their name. This is the internal cost. You are not just choosing warriors, you are choosing fathers for a suicide squad. You march north during the Holy Carnea, ignoring the technical protests of the elders, because you know that a king's role is not to honor the festival, but to protect the ground upon which it is held. The Meat Grinder. You are at the middle gates of Thermopylae. The smell of the sea is replaced by the stench of slaughter and the palpable odor of rotting corpses piled in the narrow pass. For 2 days, your technical superiority is proven. Your Doru spears, 6 feet of bronze-tipped ash, hold the Persians at bay. Their shorter weapons cannot bypass your shields. You rotate your warriors in well-organized lines, a mechanical relay of combat that makes your 4,000 seem like millions. You watch the immortals fail against your phalanx, realizing that Xerxes has many combatants, but few warriors. The sensory reality is the sound of bronze clashing and the furious valor of men who have accepted that their position is temporary. You are the master of the hot gates, but the silence that follows you is the knowledge of the Anopeia path, the Pincer. You are standing in the final dawn of the 3rd day. The technical betrayal is complete. Ephialtes has led the Persians behind you. The sensory detail is the taste of your final meal. This evening we shall dine in Hades. You send the allies away, a tactical decision to preserve their strength for the future, while you and your 300, and the 700 Thespians who refuse to leave, prepare for the final Aristeia. You sally forth into the wider part of the pass, determined to sell your lives at the highest possible cost. Your spear shatters. You draw your Xiphos sword. You are no longer a man. You are a technical barrier, a human wall built of bone and resolution. The silence that follows you now is the roar of the Persians, closing in from both sides. The Mutilated Myth. You are a corpse at the foot of a stone lion. The sensory world ends with a massive hail of arrows that blots out the sun. Your body is fought over 4 times before the Persians finally drag it away. The technical reality of your end is sacrilege. Xerxes orders your head cut off and your body crucified, a desperate attempt to hide the 20,000 Persians your small force slaughtered. You are no longer a person. You have become a name in a file, a symbol of civic duty and self-sacrifice. Somewhere back in Sparta, Dilios is recounting your story, transforming your technical defeat into a moral victory. The cycle continues. Somewhere, a Spartan boy is entering the Agoge for the first time, touching the cold stone of your monument, and beginning the same climb toward a beautiful death. The myth remains. You are merely the position that was filled for 3 days in August.